What's up, basketball fans? Welcome to the Raptors Report. It is time to talk about the Toronto Raptors, who made a very, very bizarre roster move today, which I'll explain in just a moment. But let's talk about Blake Murphy, who was reporting that the Raptors have signed Quincy Guerrero. It's an Exhibit 10 deal for the 905 standout. Come into camp and get a better payday if he returns to the 905. Now, who is Quincy? Well, he is listed as a 6'7" forward who weighs 220 pounds. He's 26 years old, so he's not exactly a young pup. Played in the Raptors 905. As you see there, he went undrafted and, averaged 9 points, 9.5 points per game. Shot the ball 45.2% from the field. Didn't shoot the three-point ball all that well. Only 30% on only 2.6 attempts per game. He actually shot it very well in his last season in college, close to 36, 37%. You see the rebounds there, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, half a steal, half a block a game, essentially. So nothing really, really spectacular, but very, very respectable numbers. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is someone we could use on the Raptors roster. And as Blake indicated, if he doesn't make it, well, you play him in the Raptors 905. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, it's an Exhibit 10 deal. Why is this a bizarre move? Well, Blake goes on to further explain that the Raptors have waived Guerrero. Now, this was actually less than an hour after they signed him. Procedural move for the 905, bonus purposes, no camp after all, so he will not attend camp. They'll do this a couple of times between now and the start of the season as you get more Exhibit 10 slots than available roster spots. Now, my first initial thoughts about this was, okay, what are the Raptors doing? I understand, wanting certain guys for Raptors 905, but are they doing this to get him better payday? We've seen this in the past where they sign guys to camp deals just to make sure they make more money. And my reaction was, what are the Raptors doing? Why are we people pleasing, or in this case, player pleasing G League guys? I know that sounds cruel because, look, as human beings, who wouldn't want to work for a boss that could get you bonuses and make you essentially more money, right? That sounds like a spectacular deal. But my initial reaction was, okay, is this going to count against the salary? And if it is, this is a very, very bizarre move from the Raptors. So I went on Google, I looked up the more detailed version of Exhibit 10 deals, and shout out to Keith Smith, who posted an article, and I'll read bits of this where, he went on to state that what are Exhibit 9 and 10 contracts? Essentially, 9 and Exhibit 10 contracts are commonly referred to as summer contracts or training camp contracts. These players are being brought in to provide competition in training camp, to give coaches some extra bodies for drill scrimmages, and sometimes to prove they are worthy of a regular season roster spot. Both Exhibit 9 and 10 contracts are 1 year fully non-guarantee. A team could technically sign a player who was from another team or from outside the NBA to a 4 year maximum contract on a summer contract. But that's never happened and will likely never happen for many reasons. And the most important part here, the most important part I was a little bit worried about, in addition, they do not count against the salary cap or the luxury tax. They're very much make good deals in every sense of the word. Now, that's a little bit of a relief, especially for a Raptors team that's already in the luxury tax. I mean, it may only be $100,000, which doesn't seem a lot, but signing a few of these deals, could definitely add up, or even, 50, 70, 80,000 per player definitely adds a little bit money. And it definitely does limit your moves even further. We know how the luxury tax work, but of course, thankfully, it does not, thanks to that article. And he also went on to state that this was Keith Smith. What is the specific about an Exhibit 10 contract? An Exhibit 10 contract is unique in that it has ties to the G League. Everything works the same as laid out above, with a few key differences. A player on Exhibit 10 contract can be converted to a two-way contract, provided that the player is eligible to play on a two-way deal. In order to be two-way eligible, a player must have 3 years of service or less. If they have 4 years of service, they have to have missed an entire season of games in the first 4 seasons. Note, this is years of absence, not the year the player is currently in. A player of service isn't earned until after the current season completes. So it just goes on to explain the Exhibit 10 deals a lot more in detail. And, for a lot of people that, don't fully understand it, it's great. Even for myself, I did have a little bit concerns about, signing him, then waiving him. Is this going to count against the salary cap? But thankfully it does not. But obviously the Raptors see something in Quincy. And, my initial reaction was I was pretty excited because, as you guys know on this channel, we do this thing where I watch a lot of video, a lot of tape on them, and then I go through their strengths and weaknesses. But before I even got the chance to do that, Blake Murphy tweeted out that the Raptors waived him, which is, completely fine. You got him a little bit of a better payday, which is not a bad thing, especially when it doesn't count against the salary cap. I mean, MLSC, Rogers, whoever owns them now is worth billions of dollars. Who cares if you have to pay an extra, 20, 30, 40, $100,000? It's good for the players, helps them make more money, and that's all that matters. Let's get into our trivia question for today. So, since we're talking about Quincy, what college did Quincy Guerrero go to? Is it A, Syracuse? Is it B, Oregon? Is it C, Illinois? Or is it D, all of the above? So, whoever answers this trivia question correctly first in the comment section gets a shout out in my next video. So, that will be it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys have yourselves a great day.